Damn, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. Listen, I understand that I was not here during my normal time. As many of you guys know, I am live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST and 5:15 p.m. EST. Excuse me, sorry for the burp right there. I just had some coffee. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I could not make it for the original planned stream. Don't worry, tomorrow it is as scheduled from here on out. However, today you did read that title correctly. Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts. Is this a trap game? Okay. In 2021, if our memories serve us correctly, it was the exact same game where we got our teeth kicked in. We got our faces dented from this team. We had Jonathan Taylor go out there and rush for 156 yards and 5 touchdowns. It was embarrassing. Many of you were out there saying, "Oh my God, it's over, man. This team is nothing," etc. And then we ended up going on some crazy win streak. Ultimately, end up losing to the Bengals later on in the playoffs that year. However, on this episode today, I want to go on ahead and I want to really unpack everything that we need to know about the Indianapolis Colts. As much as I would like to say, hey, this team is much different, or this is the exact same team that we are going to be facing that we did in 2021. It is not the case. They have a brand new head coach in Shane Steichen. They just ended up adding their starting star center to the IR. They have a lot of injuries. Michael Pittman Jr. may very well be out. Even if Michael Pittman Jr. was not out, he has been, I would say, public enemy number one amongst Colts fans for not really seeing the production that he should see in the first place. Obviously, we are going to be looking at the Keon Coleman injuries, the Amari Cooper injuries, what exactly that means, and attempting to put together a solid game plan of how the Buffalo Bills can come out victorious. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What is going on, baby? What is going on? Do me a favor right now. If you are just getting in, sound off in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extend. Sound off, roll call in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? Smash that like button too, folks. Listen, no excuse. We are going to be over 100 likes within the next 10 minutes. I promise you that. Smash that like button. Keep on flooding that in. Let me know where you are tuned in from. We have DC in the chat. Buffalo Guffy, what is going on, my guy? Hope all is well. We have New York. We have Canadawaga, New York. White boy Rick, what is going on, my guy? How you doing? UK is in the chat. The United Kingdom, man. We have our friends from over the pond. Bills Mafia is everywhere. I can promise you that. Guadalajara, Mexico. What is going on? Alpharetta, Georgia. What is going on? We have two Bills Mafia members from the great country of Mexico in the chat right now. Mac, how are you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. We have Dr. Strange, Nash, Vegas. Go Bills. Nashville, Tennessee. Absolutely love that. I hope that I can be joining you within the next couple of months, my friend. Really hoping that is going to be the move for me here within the next couple of months. I will keep you up to date on that. Nebraska, Manuel, what is going on? We got Dirty Jersey in the chat. Dan is nationwide. White boy Rick is in here. California is in the chat. Oh, man, we got my boy Ronnie Rogers in the chat. Dan the man, guys, keep on going with that roll call. Let me know where you were tuning in from. Smash that like button. 100 like buttons in the next 10 minutes. Make it happen. Dwayne, what is going on? I appreciate all the work that you have done for me. I'm going to be sending you that gift very shortly. We are going to be certainly keeping in contact here after the fact. Kevin is in the chat. Albany, New York. We have Vegas. Vegas K. Who were to know? Who were to think that Vegas K was from Las Vegas joining us this afternoon? We have, oh, man, look at that. We got New York Lucas. We have Savannah, Georgia. Ronnie Rogers in the chat already. Thank you, Dan. We have J-Dog, my guy, dude. Eagles fan is in the chat already, man. We have, hey, listen, let me tell you what, dude. Our fan base, our live chat community extends even past Bills Mafia. We just have people over here that like seeing me yell at a computer screen on a regular basis, man. Things are absolutely beautiful. What is the move, Dan? Gabriel, the move today, my friend. The move today, my friend, is really just unpacking this Indianapolis Colts matchup, what we should expect from this team, how we make it happen. Have my guy over here from Tokyo, Japan. What is going on, my guy? First time I have seen somebody from Japan in the chat. That is absolutely awesome. Are you from Japan originally? maybe military. I don't know. Let us know what's going on. That is absolutely insane. 30.1K subs. Absolutely, man. 30,100 of you have subscribed to the channel. Absolutely insane. I'd like to think it's because you enjoy the content on a regular basis. Perhaps it's because I've been bribing you for the past couple of weeks, right? Because I have been doing a bunch of giveaways so far, okay? I just ended up sending that Josh Allen rookie card over to one of my followers for entering the contest. And as many of you know, I am doing a signed memorabilia giveaway each and every single week. Each and every single week. This week, I am giving away a signed James Cook jersey. It is right behind me, right over there, ladies and gentlemen. Signed James Cook jersey, as you can see, could be yours. All you need to be is a subscriber to this YouTube channel, have a free Pristine Auction account linked in the description below. It is the #1 place, boys. It is the #1 place to get all of your signed memorabilia. So many of you in the chat have already been telling me, oh my God, dude, I am obsessed with this website. I just got this jersey or that jersey or this signed helmet for like $5 or something like that. It is the #1 auction site on the face of the planet. I'm absolutely obsessed with this page, man. Like, for example, you hop on here real fast. You have a Josh Allen signed jersey starting at $86 per bid, right? Don Beebe starting at $10. Bruce Smith starting at $50. A frame jersey, signed jersey from right over there. A Cole Beasley signed helmet. Whatever you guys want to go ahead and knock out, it is all over on Pristine Auction. Go ahead and check that out and make sure, of course, that you are a member to the YouTube channel. Congrats on 30,000. Thank you so much, man. As many of you guys know, my goal is to surpass 50,000 before the end of the regular season. I think that we can do it. No questions asked after the case. International shipping? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you win, international shipping indeed. From the States, been in Japan for a few years. My man. My man. We have J-Dog. Can the giveaway be going on a date with Dan Mitchell? Maybe. One of these days, maybe a date with Dan Mitchell will be on the table if that is the case. All right. I will keep you updated if that works out. We go into the Super Bowl. I know, let me be delusional. We have Go Pats. Hey, man, listen, as long as you are feeling your team and you have that sense of confidence, I'm not going to hate you on that. I'm not going to hate you on that, my friend. There's absolutely no way. Dan, you definitely deserve subscribers. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, dude. Listen, I'm here for you guys. Can the giveaway be going on a date with Dan Mitchell? Oh, my God, look at that. I'm glad the live stream was at 2 because I missed the 11 a.m. one. Well, I'll tell you what, I was at a doctor's appointment this morning, so I couldn't make it, man. Listen, I'm putting my health #1, dog. Your boy is healthy as an ox. Now I'm back here making it happen, baby. Look at that. My BR Ghostbusters is coming on in. A real Bills jersey signed by Josh Allen for $90 for real. So the Movie Madness thing, right? So with Pristine Auction, it is an auction site. So that is the cheapest that you can bid on it for, right? I'm sure it's going to go up higher as more people end up putting more money up for the Josh Allen signed jersey. But listen, like, so I'm not even going to bullshit you guys for real. Like that James Cook jersey I'm giving away, right? Like I ended up winning that on Pristine Auction for like, I think it was like $50 was the highest bid. And that was mine, right? So like you can get some really cool signed shit for like 40 to 50 bucks. Is what it is. Like you just go on ahead and like you just bid, say that you get outbid. Obviously, you don't need to pay for it. It's completely free after the fact, and I have been getting so many cool things. So if you guys don't want to, say, for example, wait for my giveaways and you just want to go on ahead and try your own thing, like you can get some really cool signed memorabilia on this website for cheap as hell. It's wild, dude. Like literally, man. Like once I'm done with this James Cook jersey, I'm also giving away a Christian Benford jersey, a Gregory Rousseau jersey. I'm giving away a Taron Johnson jersey, a Keon Coleman jersey. I'm giving away a Dalton Kincaid signed rookie card eventually. Like, dude, so many wild stuff is on that website, man. Sign up for it. It's free to sign up for it. And if you end up winning at all, ever, then just use my code DMitch10 for $10 off your winning bid, baby. That's all it is. Dan, who do you dislike more, Pats, Tom Brady, or Mahomes? I feel like Mahomes, because he's been breaking our heart like where it matters, right? Like he's been breaking our heart in the playoffs where Tom Brady, we never had like a playoff loss against the guy. He was just kicking our ass in the regular season. Most of the time when we have already given up at that point. What's going on from a New York Jets fan? How is your day going, Dan? Anthony, what is going on? I can only assume that you must be an AFC East Roundtable fan coming in, checking in. I'll tell you what, man, I'm doing fantastic. Very interested to see how the Jets do this weekend, especially against the Arizona Cardinals. My buddy Richie has been giving up on the Jets, and I don't know why. Like, maybe I'm delusional. And a lot of people are saying, hey, Dan, you know what? Like, I think you're a closet Jets fan. I am not. But I still have belief in this Jets squad to somehow go on some sort of streak, potentially threaten a wild card appearance as the season continues. Don't know why, man. I have a feeling that this Jets team is not completely done. Don't wipe your hands away from this Jets team. I can almost tell you that. I got to head out, Dan. Only got to tune in for a bit, but thank you anyway. Max, I do not blame you. It is 4 a.m. over in Japan. Get some sleep and feel free to come on over a little later because we're about to be unpacking everything we need to know about this Indianapolis Colts matchup, which is happening on Sunday. Hopefully you are able to join in on the live game reaction. My guy, Ravens fan, is in the chat. What is going on? Hey, Dan, what's good? Hope you're having a great day today. It's game day. Need my Ravens to get this dub. How are you feeling about this game? Because here's the deal, right? Like, I've been wanting to count out the Cincinnati Bengals. And so their defense is absolutely disgusting. It's bad, right? It is a bad defense over in Cincinnati. But somehow Burrow has been playing I would say an MVP level sort of football. And I feel like no one's talking about this Burrow performance because his team's record isn't necessarily matching it. How are you feeling about it? I think that's the question. How are you feeling about this? Like, what's like your level of confidence going into this game? He's going to say, also, congrats on 30,000, man. Most wholesome Bills YouTuber on here. The realest. My guy, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have Haram. We just find a way to stop the run and the Bills win it all. We have Dalton coming in. Dan, I need the Bills to beat the Colts for the Jets to get closer to the wild card spot. Dalt, let me tell you what, man. I'm really liking this matchup. I'm not going to lie. JETS, Jets, baby, from King Lowski. My dude was yelling at me last night. King Lowski, you were yelling at me last night, but it's okay. I know that we're homies deep down. I can't wait to meet you over at the event on December 8th. I'm going to be a closet Jets fan during that game. I'm not going to lie. It's the Jets and the Dolphins. I'm going to be on your side during that game, King Lowski. I just want to let you know. Bro. I'm low-key going to be on your side. My birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday, my guy. Coleman, DMP, Cooper Samuel is limited. FP, J.A. Bernard, Johnson Jones, Kincaid, Knox, Lewis, Rappin, Dorian Williams, all full practices. Dwayne, thank you so much for putting that on in there for us. Absolutely insane. And I'll tell you what, quite a few things we want to take a look at from this Indianapolis Colts team. What I have done is I ended up pulling up teamrankings.com, and I highly recommend this, right? Because I know that you guys love tuning in and rocking with me on a daily basis. But in case you're ever curious, like say, for example, I'm not previewing the game as soon as you would like me to, and you're just curious, check out this website. It's called teamrankings.com. And what it does is that it ends up breaking down where all teams are ranked offensively and defensively from the passing perspective, from the defensive perspective. This is typically my go-to site when when it comes down into research for getting those surface level takes, right? And the number one thing that I'm looking at right now is that we have the Indianapolis Colts offense. This is off to our left, and we are going to craft together a defensive game plan for what we are going to expect. As we know from the Indianapolis Colts, they ended up benching Anthony Richardson. As many of you guys know, I think he is the next coming of Jamarcus Russell. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think Shane Steichen was actually a brilliant man for going with Flacco just due to his overall experience. That is for sure. And keep in mind, all of these offensive stats are likely skewed because they've had a carousel of starting quarterbacks for the first half of the season. Sometimes it has been Flacco. Sometimes it has been, of course, Mr. Anthony Richardson. However, this team is putting up 20.9 points on offense per game. That is 22nd in the league. 315 yards per game. That is in total, folks. That is 22nd in the league. 5.4 yards per play. That's dead middle. That's dead middle, slightly above middle. Third down conversion, they are not very good. Fourth down conversion, they are at number 8, but we still need to have conversations about how many attempts they've had in the first place. And then red zone scoring, not very good, barely above 50% in that overall category. Rushing is different. Now, folks, we are going to be facing our good friend, Taylor, Jonathan Taylor. Last time we played Jonathan Taylor in 2021, he put up 156 yards and 5 touchdowns against us. These were two entirely different teams. And also keep in mind that Jonathan Taylor was hurt for a couple of games this season as well. So let's not go on ahead. And take this to heart, if you will. But all in all, so they are averaging 4.6 yards per rush. That is 10th in the league. So they're top 10. Not rushing the ball too often, so only 21st in the league from the beginning. Probably has to do with the fact that they have been playing from behind quite a bit and they have to pass the ball in order to, sort of still stay in the game whatsoever, but something to consider. Rush yards, 121.3. So they are literally statistically average where it comes into it. 16th in the overall league. Passing, an entire different conversation. But again, this team has had multiple quarterbacks. They have had Joe Flacco. They have had Anthony Richardson. And I promise you, with Joe Flacco starting for the past couple of games, or at least 2 or 3 so far on this season, 54.65% completion percentage, yards per pass are at 7, passes per game are 29.9, pass yards per game are 193.7, interceptions thrown are at 28. I think a lot of this, I'm not going to lie to you, I honestly think a lot of this has to do with Anthony Richardson just completely destroying these passing metrics. So I think it's pretty difficult to really be able to come up with a conclusion of what we can anticipate from this overall team. So where it stands right now, I want to move over to PFF here in a second and look exactly at Joe Flacco. What has he been doing this year? What can we anticipate from Joe Flacco? That is going to be my overall situation. So the kicking stats, less than the league. So they have been struggling with getting consistent field goal play. And the turnover metrics right over here at number 28, not too good. They are coughing the ball up quite a bit. But like I said, this is an Anthony Richardson sort of game. So let's go on ahead and check out the gentleman that we are going to be facing off against. And that just so happens to be old Daddy Flacco, baby. What do we got from old Daddy Flacco? Let's make that happen. We have Joe Flacco as a baller from Cheesy Pop in the chat already. Folks, listen, we need 100 like buttons smashed. 100 like buttons smashed within the next 10 minutes. I don't know how many like buttons have been hit. Go on ahead and pump that number up, baby. We want to go on ahead and propel this out to the YouTube algorithm because we have some ball to talk about right now, folks. Smash that like button, and somebody in the chat, let me know once we have surpassed 100. I know that we can do that. Tua outplayed Josh. Not in the win column, baby. Flacco has been a detriment to their run game, though. He certainly has. GM 360. Flacco only has the prettiest deep ball in the NFL, and Buffalo doesn't give up big plays. Let's effing go, Buffalo. And let me tell you what, GM, I think that is a wonderful take because the Buffalo Bills have been putting out so many very advanced coverage schemes where we are completely getting rid of the big play. Outside of Tua's deep pass over to Tyreek last week, that was probably the biggest play I think I have seen this team make all year. For the most part, running 2 high shell safeties has really kept everything in front of them. And if I look at all of their wide receivers at this point, so you have Josh Downs, have A.D. Mitchell, and then Michael Pittman Jr., he may even be out on Sunday based off of what I have been looking at. We're going to take a look at the injury reports here in a second. But if he is out, then now we have Christian Benford, who appears to be playing. He was limited. So according to what Dwayne ended up putting out there in the chat a bit earlier. But I'm fine with Benford on Josh Downs or on A.D. Mitchell, and I'm fine with Rasul Douglas on whatever wide receiver he is not. I am really not scared of this wide receiving core. So to begin with, right? So like you have Pittman, right here, right? In fact, let me go on ahead. Let me go team. Let's go Buffalo Bills. So with Benford, ideally would be on Michael Pittman Jr. So right here, say for example, Pittman is out, and this is likely going to be AD Mitchell on the outside. Have Pierce against Rasul Douglas, and then Downs, who is more than likely going to be up against Taron Johnson, who I absolutely love that matchup. Zero questions about that. Zero questions about that. I love this matchup. Zero questions. However, let's go ahead and get back to this. Have some advanced statistics. Let's go ahead and check out premium stats from Joe Flacco, because we have to understand what kind of quarterback this guy is. Because based off of what we have been looking at so far, all of these passing metrics from Joe Flacco have been skewed by the times that Anthony Richardson has been starting for the Indianapolis Colts, which in my opinion has been a giant liability, and it's not really giving us a good answer at how good this team truly is. However, let's go ahead and take a look. Snaps by position. Actually, we'll go back to that. We have offense, okay? Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Tennessee, and then Houston, and then Minnesota. So let's take a look at a couple of things that he has here so far, okay? So far, he only has one penalty. That is one delay of game more than likely. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the offensive grade chart. Let's go ahead and check out passing. Okay. This is the big stuff that we need to understand from old man Joe Flacco. He's 39 years old, folks. Dude's about to be 40 years old. He's about to be 40 years old, and he's still absolutely heaving the football around. Okay. So far this year, he is completing 64.4% of his passes. Okay, he has 895 yards. His best game was against the Jacksonville Jaguars with 359 yards passing. That is absolutely insane. Past couple of games he has played, week 6, he threw for 189 yards against the Tennessee Titans. And against Minnesota, he threw for 179 yards after the fact. He's averaging about 6.6 yards per attempt, meaning most defenses are probably giving pretty soft coverage on the boundaries. And he's taking what is given to them. 7 touchdowns and then only 2 interceptions for the old dude. As far as big-time plays, he only has 3 big-time plays. That means that he's really taking a shot down, largely a dink and dunk right in his old age. 6 turnover-worthy plays. His average depth of target is sitting at about 8.9. So essentially, what you have to look at is that this dude right here, his average depth of target, he's not necessarily a dink and dunk guy, but he is going to stretch the field more than a lot of QBs we have played so far. But it's very difficult, especially since we're only going off of 4 games that he has started so far this year. What I love to see is how long it takes this fool to throw the football. And it takes him about 2.6 seconds to throw the football. Something to consider. When you end up looking at this, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put this out there real fast. We have it in offensive line, who has been playing very well. This left tackle and left guard have been playing very, very well. But this is the dude, Tanner Bortolini, my friends, who is 22 years old. He's basically a rookie for the most part. And say that there's any Colts fans or like college prospect fans in here that can let me know. I want to say that he's a second year right now. I could be wrong. No, never mind. He's a rookie. He is a rookie at the center position. His pass block is at 77.3, run blocks at, I'd say, about 64. Problem is that he's only played about 3 weeks. So what kind of pass rushes has he been going up against? He's a rookie. Can we end up getting some leverage against a rookie center that begins it for the most part, right? So he is going to be starting since their starting center is now currently placed on the IR. And then we also have Tucker, who is the right guard. Pass block is at 65.5. And then also you have Smith, Braden Smith at 70. So overall, this is a pretty solid offensive line, particularly in the pass coverage aspect of it. But Pittman may be out. Pierce, really not something that I think we should be worrying about. And Josh Downs, who is currently 7th out of 130 wide receivers ranked. He is the best wide receiver they have on this squad right now. I love Taron Johnson being matched up with this guy. I really do. I love the matchup. It's going to be a battle of the heavyweights at this point. But I think if any of us are looking for an ideal matchup, it's going to be against this guy right here in Taron Johnson. It is just how it is. But Flacco, so we can go on ahead and knock that out. So his time to throw is about 2.62. First downs, 47. Has only scrambled 3 times, meaning his offensive line has been doing him quite a bit of favors, and so if you will. But let's check this out as well. Passing pressure. What are we going to do to Joe Flacco, ladies and gentlemen? What are we going to do to Joe Flacco? Can Von Miller have a game? Can Gregory Rousseau? Can Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones step up? Because I know that they have been public enemy number one for a lot of Bills fans. Let's see if they can get this done. When Joe Flacco is kept clean, ladies and gentlemen, he is completing 68.6% of his passes. He's had 107 dropbacks where he has been kept clean, so that's a good sign for your offensive line. When he is under pressure, and he has only been pressured 41 times out of the 4 games that he has been experiencing. So since he has been playing 4 games, like we can say he's been pressured an average of 10 to 11 times per game. 68.9% completion after the fact. When he is not blitzed, that is about 100. And when he is blitzed, which is only about 48 dropbacks so far, he's completing 55.6% of his passes. So if I am going to put together a game plan as far as really being able to take Joe Flacco out of the equation, right? When I am ready to take care of Joe Flacco, yes, you were damn right. I am going to send some blitzes. I am going to send a Bernard blitz. I am going to send a Dorian Williams blitz. I might even send a DB blitz after the fact if Taylor Rapp is able to pick up the wide receiver after the fact. You can blitz Joe Flacco and get completely fine with it. Some QBs out there absolutely punish you. Some QBs punish you for blitzing, not Joe Flacco. So yes, dial up some blitzes for us and then make it happen. And then as far as passing concepts, this is what we are anticipating right now. Play action, 45 dropbacks, non-play action, 103. And this team doesn't really run a lot of screens either, okay? He has only attempted 14 screens since he has been QB for 4 games so far this season. So we're not about to see the same game plan that we saw against the Miami Dolphins. Meaning what's going to happen is that this is not going to be a lot of play action. Maybe this is skewed because Jonathan Taylor was not healthy for a couple of games, especially while Joe Flacco was out there in the first place. However, we're not going to normally anticipate any sort of screenplay like we saw quite a bit of from the Miami Dolphins in the first place. And I absolutely love that. So that right there is some Joe Flacco situation, if you will. Now it comes down to the Jonathan Taylor, my friends. This is the scary dude. The scary dude so far, folks. This is the same dude that ended up putting up 156 yards against us on the ground, 5 touchdowns in 2021. Are we going to see the same sort of running back? And I see my boy in here right now. I see Big Rob coming in. He's chirping in saying Pittman may be out. Yes, he has a back injury / a finger injury. He was a do not practice yesterday. Haven't seen the injury report as of now. We're going to look at that a little bit later. However, he may not be out. And even if he was out there, folks, Colts fans have Michael Pittman Jr. as public enemy number 1 because dude has not been playing well. He just has not been playing well. He is nothing but a possession receiver. Not a lot of separation. Not a lot of yak. He's just that dude that gets open, catches the football, and falls right on his ass immediately. That's precisely what he has been for this Indianapolis Colts. So even if he was out there for the first place or in the first place, I wouldn't have been concerned in the slightest. But let's go ahead and check out our good friend, Jonathan Taylor, and see exactly what we need to do to contain this fool, man. Let's go ahead and see how we can contain this fool right over here. Rushing What do we got for our guy? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he was out for 3 weeks. He was out for 3 weeks in 8 and 9. Let's see what our guy can do. So far this year, he has rushed for 502 yards, 4.8 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, and only 1 fumble. Now, we really don't care specifically on what he did for the first couple of weeks. What has he done since he has been back from injury? He rushed for 105 yards against the Houston Texans. And do remember, this Buffalo Bills team was able to get some plays done on the ground from this Houston Texans team. So something to think about. And the Minnesota defense, which only allowed him at 48 yards from the beginning. Yards per average about 3.7. Okay. I don't see us holding Jonathan Taylor to about 48 yards. I really don't. Unfortunately, where I'm standing right now, I genuinely believe that Jonathan Taylor is probably going to rush for over like 90 to like 110 against this team. I really do. But how we end up, I'd say, overcoming that is making sure that we take advantage of our offensive opportunities. We score so fast on this team. We make the stops where we need to make the stop, where we end up taking a 2 to 3 score lead where they have to revert back to Joe Flacco into potentially winning that within the pass game. So that's basically how it all kind of plays out. 5 touchdowns, 1 fumble. His YCO is at 319. His yards after contact is about 3 yards after contact. So something to think about. His long is basically 29 yards on average. So for the past couple of weeks, vast majority of the weeks, 5 out of the last 7 games that he has played, he has had a massive run for 29 yards, 21 yards, 28 yards. Those are massive. Last week against Minnesota, only 13 as his longest one. Several games where he has played so far, he's had 5 against Green Bay. He had 3 10-plus yards against Chicago, 3 against Pittsburgh, which is a great defense, so something to consider. And Houston, 4 10-plus yard runs. So I feel like all of us need to go on ahead and just accept the fact that Taylor is probably going to have at least 2 to 3 big-time runs against this defense, okay? And he's probably going to get over 100 yards. So how do we solve this, right? How we solve this is by taking as much advantage as we can, in all of our offensive opportunities. Score more than the Indianapolis Colts. And I know that sounds juvenile. Like, obviously, Dan, obviously, of course, we want to score more points than the Indianapolis Colts. But what I'm saying is that we need to be a hell of a lot more productive with our opportunities on offense than the Indianapolis Colts are. So we force them to rely on Joe Flacco in the pass game. And without Michael Pittman, and with the matchups that I just ended up announcing, I love Christian Benford against AD Mitchell. I'm not sure about you guys, but I love that matchup. I love Taron Johnson against Downs. I love Rasul Douglas against their wide receiver 3. I do. Make Joe Flacco control them even competing in the first place. That is precisely where I'm at right now. Guys, 137 of you on YouTube, 59 of you on X. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button, guys. We need to be over 100 like buttons right now. How many like buttons have been smashed, chat? I'm actually very curious. We want to be over 100 within the next 5 minutes. I genuinely believe that we can get it done. Knock it out. We just ended up surpassing 30,000 subscribers yesterday. And our goal is 50,000 before the end of the regular season. I know it's a lofty goal, folks. It is a lofty goal, but I genuinely believe that we can get this done. I am giving away, like I said, signed James Cook jersey right behind me. Could be one of yours. I am talking to everybody that is watching on X right now. 59 of you on X. Guarantee you that if you want to be a part of my giveaways, I promise you that you need to be a subscriber to the YouTube channel to even be eligible. So go on ahead and knock that out and then make it happen. But that's basically this Taylor as far as what we can anticipate from this guy. But now it's time for us to take a look at their defense. Because you have been hearing me say over and over and over again, where I say, hey, man, listen, as long as we take advantage of all of our offensive opportunities, we can put the ball back in Joe Flacco's hands and make him win this game for him. And I'm not saying this lightly, because the defense in Indianapolis is absolutely trash. They are absolutely god-awful in practically every single facet of the game. And if you don't believe me, let's go on ahead and check out exactly what we are seeing. Okay. So yards per game, 383.6 yards per game. That is passing and rushing combined. That is 29th in the league. Points are an entire different story. Only 21, meaning they might have a pretty good red zone defense. So something to consider. Points per play at number 8, yards per play 5.6. So they are allowing teams to get, I'd say, vast majority of opportunities underneath. So how do you end up beating defenses like that? You need to have players that can create yards after the catch that are slippery. So I'm automatically thinking about Khalil Shakir. I'm automatically thinking about Amari Cooper having the opportunity of creating separation, making plays that way. And then also our running backs out of like nice little swing passes off to the right. Something right there. 4th down conversion, they are not very good. 3rd down conversion, they are not very good. Red zone, 57%, 17th ranked in the league. So defense is not what they are looking for. Rushing statistics, folks. Let's take a look at this. Biggest numbers we can see right here. Rushing yards, 149.8. They are the second worst team in the NFL for stopping the run, folks. This Indianapolis Colts team is the second worst team in the NFL for stopping the run. So here comes my first key for the Buffalo Bills offense to dominate the Indianapolis Colts, in which that I think that they can. Run the damn ball. James Cook, Ray Davis, some Josh Allen runs. I'm completely fine with it. Make it happen. This team can get ran on, establish play action, and get it going. But then after the fact, here's the thing. Their pass defense is not that ideal either. Look at this. They are allowing a 70% completion percentage for all opposing quarterbacks. They are allowing, folks, I'm not shitting you. They are allowing 70% completion percentage versus every single quarterback that they have played so far this year. That is 3rd worst in the NFL. Yards per pass, 7.7. So you know what that means. They are running a lot of soft zone, no press coverage at all on the line. Yards per pass, or passes per game, 32.3. Pass yards per game, 233.8 yards per game. And a sack percentage of 6.43%. Buckner wasn't there for quite some time, but something to consider. And the defense, as far as field goal percentage, number 4 in the league. And then that's after the case. But let's go on ahead and move back over here for a second, because I want to take a look at the Indianapolis Colts defense. More than likely, I'm assuming they're going to be running a lot of some nickel, if you will. We have Amari Cooper, who's going to be right on the outside. He's going to be facing off against Samuel Womack, who was drafted 2 years ago. His coverage grade is only at 69.3. His run defense is 77.7. Defense is at 71.8 by itself. Absolutely love this matchup, especially when you end up looking at Amari Cooper for offensive grade and receiving grade after the fact. So this is a mismatch nightmare, if you will. Shakir against Kenny Moore II, who has been playing pretty well. I'm not going to lie. His coverage grade is at 81.2. Can Shakir end up beating this guy out? That is a question. His receiving grade's at 78.4, offensive grade at 77. This is going to be a matchup between him and Kenny Moore. Who ends up coming out on top? That's my question. And then you end up having Jalen Jones on the opposite side. Unfortunately, we have Matt Collins right over here. And that's just going to have to be that dude. But now we have their defense. You have Buckner, who's a stud. He's been a stud for the vast majority of this season thus far. And then you have Latu, who is indeed a rookie. He was just drafted after the case. He is going to be right up in Deion Dawkins' grill. You have David Edwards, who's going to be taking Buckner, and then McGovern. So I would say that McGovern and Edwards are probably going to be taking this double team right here with Buckner. You have Osiris Torrance right here with pass block. His run defense has been different, but pass block has been fine. He's going to be going up against Deo right here, where his pass rush is less than ideal. So I feel pretty good about this matchup. And then Spencer Brown is going to be going up against Kwity Paye right over there, who has not necessarily been having a solid season as far as their defensive ends has been concerned. This offense for the Buffalo Bills, or this offensive line, has been over-exceeding. 4th in the league as far as EPA compared to every other offensive line in the league. Absolutely love this. But here's the weaknesses, folks. Here are the weaknesses. Look at this coverage grade. 52.3, Zaire Franklin. Look at this dude. EJ Speed, 48.8. Coverage. Run defense really isn't even that ideal at 61.4. So what am I really thinking right now, like when it comes into run defense? So run defense, Buckner's pretty solid at 67.6. You have Latu, not so good at run defense. You have this guy, not so good at run defense. And then you have Paye, not so good at run defense. So when it comes into it, I love our matchup for the Buffalo Bills offensive line versus this defensive line, particularly in run plays. And even in pass coverage, I'm completely fine with this. So if Dan Mitchell was going to go on ahead, and say, okay, like what's the game plan for this offense? Number one, James Cook, absolutely have a day. Have a day. Ray Davis, have a damn day. This defensive line can't stop a nosebleed. These linebackers can't stop a nosebleed. Get 6 to 7 yards per carry. This Buffalo Bills run offense can get this done. It's how it is. All right. If we're going to pass the ball, this is what we're going to take a look at right here. I like this matchup right here. This is a game where Amari Cooper absolutely goes off. He absolutely goes off. I'm talking dig routes, rating about 5 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. I'm talking slant routes. The number one thing I am looking for right here, folks, is going to be picking on these linebackers in the passing game. Pick on these guys. They cannot cover to save their damn lives. They can barely stop the run. Linebackers are the weak link over here. Even safeties after the fact, coverage, want it to be a hell of a lot better for Julian Blackmon. And then same thing when it comes into cross. Coverage grade 54.7. Hence why, since our guy is on the right side of the field, this guy is trash in pass coverage. This guy is trash in pass coverage. This guy right here, average in pass coverage. In fact, you know what? I hate to be this dude right now. And so I hate to be this dude right now. But if you're a sports bettor, take the over on everything you see from Amari Cooper on Sunday. Take the over from everything that you see for Amari Cooper. He's going to have a game. He is going to have over 100 yards receiving and at least a touchdown. That's where I'm at. All sports bettors, if you are looking for the guy that is going to leave with the most offensive production on Sunday, and as Michael Stover says, if he is playing, I have a feeling he's going to, especially since Keon Coleman likely will not be. He's going to have a fucking game. So is Shakir. Except I like Kenny Moore a lot, especially as a adversary for the guy right over here. But guys, listen. So I need to go on ahead and give a giant shout out to one of our sponsors right now, and that just so happens to be Club Bud Light at 34 Rush over at Batavia Downs. If you are in the Western New York area and you are looking for a place to watch the game on Sunday, you have to go to Batavia Downs, folks. I'm talking they have drink food specials inspired by Thurman Thomas himself. They have some of the biggest TVs I've ever seen in my entire life. It's right next to the gaming floor, and they give away halftime and postgame prizes each and every single week. It is my personal favorite place to go and watch a Buffalo Bills away game when I am in Western New York. Love gambling, obviously, and they have so many awesome opportunities around campus. They have a bunch of summer concert series. I love Batavia Downs. It is quite frankly heaven on earth if you are in Western New York. If you are looking for plans or you want to do something this weekend and you are located in the area, highly recommend you go over there and watch the game, man. You are not going to regret it. Shout out Batavia Downs for sponsoring this channel. And yeah, make it happen. Buffalo Bill Cody, Baron Von Schneider is in the chat. Talk to me right there. Senke Chandler. What about Samuel? So the thing is about Samuel, right? I would love to experiment with him on the outside, except for he has been limited with a pectoral, and he has been struggling tremendously. He has been struggling tremendously with a turf toe injury from the beginning of training camp. So my buddy Kevin, who was on the show last night, he's under the impression that he's just not very good, that he sucks, that he's just a bad wide receiver. It's not that Joe Brady is misusing him. It's not that he's injured. He just thinks that he blows. And the reason why he blows and the reason why he was good in Washington and in Carolina was because they had zero run game. They had zero and they had zero quality QB play where defenses opened him up because they allowed it to happen in the first place. He's not the kind of wide receiver that's going to be able to beat anything. And quite frankly, this is a tough pill to swallow, but the Curtis Samuel signing was very much a miss. It was a giant swing and a miss. That's according to Kevin. We will see. I would love to see him on the outside, see what he can do potentially. Make us thankful that he can go out there and actually make a play. But I don't know. Okay. Let's take a look at Jonathan Taylor. So not a huge sample size, but JT stats are something to consider ahead of Bills and Colts. With Flacco, 29 carries, 106 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. Without Joe Flacco, 76 carries, 396 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. Flacco, when he's out on the field, for some reason, Taylor is just not utilized for some reason. But remember, Taylor missed 3 games so far this season, so that could very well be skewed. A lot of us over here, we are wondering about Keon Coleman. Dan Mitchell, is Keon Coleman going to play on Sunday? While Sean McDermott didn't necessarily rule him out, we have heard a lot of different people ask questions. And I'll tell you what, based off of this video, shout out Carl Jones for making this popular / for making this available during my stream. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm not seeing no cast. And so I'm not seeing no brace. But at the end of the day, did we see a brace from Amari Cooper last week during practice? We did going into the game. But he was out there working with trainers on the side. He was working off to the side with trainers. So what does that particularly mean? Is Keon Coleman going to play on Sunday? If I was a gambling man, folks, I am going to assume that he will not. Not because I don't think that he wouldn't be able to play if he was absolutely required to, but I think this team has bigger plans. I feel like we have bigger fish to fry, if that is the overall case. We have Lizard Born in the chat. Dan, I'm going to my first Bills game this Sunday. It is sold out stadium. I hope a lot of that is Bills Mafia. Lizard Born, man, you have a great time over in Indianapolis, man. Lucas Oil Stadium, it is a beautiful place. Does Hamlin have supernatural powers now that he has been resuscitated? Think about a couple of key plays he has made. Some people are calling him the Grim Reaper, man. He's like continuously putting people on the damn IR. Okay, we have Benford took a part in drills in the media availability portion of practice, has a small brace on his right wrist. Amari Cooper wrist and Curtis Samuel pectoral did position drills as well. Both missed the Dolphins game last week. So there's Benford. There's Curtis Samuel. Has a red non-contact jersey on. Hamlin, and there's Benford. So right there, he's doing his thing. So they're saying that had a small brace on his wrist. There's Curtis Samuel. Show us Amari Cooper. Show us Amari Cooper. There he is. I'm not seeing a brace on the guy. He seems to be okay. Chat, sound off. Let me know what you're thinking about. Someone said Thigh Doctor tweet. Talk to me, Thigh Doc. He's my favorite, dude. He's my favorite, man. Listen, he was trying to get me to do the thigh dance over in the game. Good morning, Bills Mafia. Do we have too many injuries to squish the fish? Find out more. Now we good. Okay, look what we have here under the glove. He's in a cast. Down. But who are we talking about right here? Okay. Bills injury report. Cooper still catching balls and drills. Likely will be called limited. Creates pessimism. He will go this Sunday. Greater than 50%. If you ask me right now, however, much less wrap on wrist during the KC game. So he has a bit of a cast on his left hand. So does that mean he doesn't play either? So no Keon Coleman, no Amari Cooper. That completely changes the overall trajectory. All right. That's it. All right. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. If you want to give me, or say, for example, you're curious about what I have as far as a final score prediction, I have the Buffalo Bills winning this game 31-24. So I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to have a game, but I just love our DBs against their specific wide receivers, especially if Michael Pittman is not out, although that Michael Pittman has not been performing very well even when he was healthy. I love our offensive line against their defensive line. I love our running backs against their run defense. I love a lot of our wide receiver matchups. Give me the Buffalo Bills 31-24. It's going to be a gritty one. It's not going to be as, I'd say, much of a blowout as much as humanly possible, but is what it is. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. I do want to remind you guys that my goal is 50,000 subscribers by the end of the regular season. I'm giving away this signed James Cook jersey at the end of this week during my live play-by-play reaction. If you want to be a part of the conversation, definitely go on ahead. You have to be a subscriber, have to have a free Pristine Auction account. And I will see you guys here in a couple of minutes. I'm going right over to BetUS TV's The Huddle. That is the NFL show that I am a part of on a weekly basis. Thank you so much. Love you guys, and we will see you shortly.